Welcome to my website. I use Weebly.com in order to create my online portfolio. The way that I have it set up is that, as you can see in my menu, I have a home button, an about me, a statement button, a resume button, a projects button, and a volunteer button. Now in my menu items, my home actually links back obviously to this introduction page, as does if you click on my name up here. The about me will lead to an about me page, which is a separate link, as will my statement page. My resume button is a little different. It is actually a non-clickable menu item because I have actually broken down my resume into 3 different pages: skills, experience, and education. And that is the only one in the menu that is a non-clickable menu item. My projects is a standard page link, and as is my volunteer page. Now, as an introduction, so to speak, I just have listed on the front page that this is welcome to my online portfolio. Currently, I'm a student at HACC, majoring in web design, and stating that within these pages of the site, you'll find my contact information, samples of projects I've done for school, my resume, and my personal statements. And the last thing that I have is that you're free to find me on social media. And here I actually have my social media and contacting links. This obviously links to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. I have a little envelope which leads to my email address and then my YouTube channel. Now this particular header that's back here with this plant image was not the one that was the default for this particular layout. The original one was a little too busy, I thought, so I wanted to find something that was a little bit more aesthetically pleasing and a little bit more streamlined and clean, but still gave a very professional look. So that's why I chose this particular one, because I really liked it. Now, one of the things that I do like about Weebly is, and the reason I chose Weebly is because I did like the particular themes that you could have for your website that they had to choose from. So that's why I went with this particular site. Now on my About Me page, this is the only site that actually does not have that background header image. And the reason I did that is because I was going to have an image of me on there, and I didn't want it to look too cluttered or to look too busy by having that additional background image, so to speak, in addition to my site or my image. Technically I could have had that header image and I could have blurred it out a little bit, but I still think it would have detracted from my image and the wording that I did to talk about, about myself. So I just basically said that allow me to introduce myself, who I am, that I'm reiterating that I am pursuing my web design degree at HACC, and my intent on transferring to a 4-year college to get my bachelor's degree. I've yet to determine my major. When the time comes and I have determined what I'm going to do, I will be changing that to reflect what I've chosen, as well as the school that I will be going to. The one thing I did not do, because I've done it on a couple other pages, is I did not actually put in a link here back to HACC's website. I have that on my resume page under education. So that is why this is not linking to anything. I state that one of my favorite quotes by Albert Einstein is creativity is intelligence having fun. One of the reasons I did is because I very much wanted to point out that I am a creative person and that I want to utilize my creativity in my career, and that is why I am a web design major, and it actually will influence me when I move forward into looking into whatever I want to major in to get my bachelor. I then also have a button that says contact me. This actually links to my email address. The reason I did that is because I have learned over the years that if you just slap up your actual email address onto a website, you're more likely to get a lot of spam suddenly floating into your email box, because they set up bots to just scan web pages looking for those email addresses. And then I have a obviously I just have like a dummy mailing address and phone number. If someone were to really look harder on this particular site, this actually might change eventually. I might go ahead and put in my regular, but on my resume, when it's downloaded, you actually will have that information. So my statement, as you can see, goes back to that header image, and then once again kind of does a little bit more on my creative outlook of things. I have another quote by Albert Einstein saying creativity is seeing what everyone else has seen and thinking what no one else has thought, and just kind of saying that the creativity kind of fuels me and pushes me forward in choosing my career and driving me forward and whatnot. So that's kind of the general theme of myself, is that I definitely want my creativity to shine through on things. For my resume, I have it broken down by skills, experience, and education. I have my skills on one page. And actually, when I did this, I decided to only highlight a few because I didn't want to have a whole ton of um, things listed because they're on my resume. So my downloadable resume is in PDF format. And as you can see, there's a whole lot more skills that are there, even breaking down the Adobe Creative Suite and the Microsoft Office and the social media information that I know. Creative Suite is something that I can add to as I start working with and learning more programs. And then, of course, all of my experiences for my different jobs, and then my education and my volunteer experience, which goes into leading into that section of my site, which is my experience. Now, one of the things I did was I only listed the last 4 jobs that I have because that has been since 2009. So that's it's 8 years. It's 2 years shy of 10, obviously. But I didn't want to have a whole bunch because it's starting to scroll a lot. And I didn't want it to be scrolling too much and lose people's interest, especially because when they finally do get down here, I do have a full downloadable resume link. And I did put full on this particular site, on this particular page, because I wanted people to know that it is my full resume. It's not just a paring down, which is what I have here. On this site too, I do have, here you'll see I have Staffing Service USA, which is who I'm currently working through at my assignment, which is Fulton Financial. And I have 2 actual staffing agencies. So what I did for my staffing agency ones is I have a link. The link here actually leads to their website, but then under the assignment, I actually have it leading to the assignment, this website where I am at. So right now I am a temp at Fulton Financial Corporation. So I have a link leading to their website. And then Marine Management leads to their website. And then with TriStar, I did the same thing with Staffing Service USA. It leads to their website, and then the assignment leads to Core Source's website. And then Manor Group to their website. Under education, I have all my education listed, and my downloadable resume is here once more. And each link does lead to each of the websites of the different schools that I was at. Under my projects page, I do have that I have graphic samples, and I have a little description saying that these are samples of created graphics for school projects using Photoshop CC. And this was done as a photo gallery, so then that way people could just click on it, but then they can just scroll through these items. Now, what was particularly nice is that it doesn't always happen with some websites, is that I had a GIF or a GIF, however you choose to pronounce it, that obviously was an animated image. And some sites don't pick up on that, so it'll just be like a static image and it won't show the actual way it's supposed to look. And I was really very pleased that when I put this particular image up, that it actually showed the animation of this image, which was the point of this particular project. And then of course the rest of the images that have gone through. And then it would allow me to add more images as I need more graphic samples and swap out if necessary. And then of course I have some website samples basically saying below are a couple of links leading the pages created for web design classes using different techniques. And then I say I have a link to each of them, and then one is a project for Web 110, another was a project for Web 125 using image maps. And then my final page is for all of my volunteer experience. Now, for Hershey Area Playhouse, Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, New Jersey Renaissance Fair, and the Costa Rican Humanitarian Foundation all lead back to their websites. but also I have a link here for the LaCarbio site build, which actually links to my travel directory website and my volunteer experience page in particular that goes over my experience while we were volunteering in Costa Rica, as well that has the video of that I created for that page to show what we did while we were there. Now that is the extent of my site and what I have on here. I did learn a few hacks that I needed to learn in order to get kind of the look that I wanted to. Because one of the things that I do not like about Weebly is that when you add in a text box, unless like for this particular, on this particular one, it's just a text box here in the center that is aligned right. So that was fine for this particular one, but not all of them I wanted to have that look. So like for this one, I wanted this to be centered and I wanted this to be technically aligned left. But if I had aligned it left, it would have been overlapping the image. So I had to actually I had to insert a divider and then have that the divider had no width so that it would not show a line through an image or have an actual visual divider, which was a little frustrating because it was, I had a very particular look in mind and it was frustrating to me to have to figure out hacks in order to do the look that I wanted to when in other programs that I've worked with before, I could have just, created something via hand coding just to get that same look. So Weebly is great for people who are learning and who are just need to put something together really quick that kind of looks professional. But for someone who has done various types of coding themselves, it was extremely frustrating at times to try to get the look that I wanted and not being able and having to adjust because I couldn't exactly get the look that I wanted. So I think I want to play with Weebly a little bit more to see if there are other ways to code and do things so that if I were ever asked to create a website for someone and they specifically wanted to use Weebly, either because they wanted basically a free website and they didn't want to have to worry about paying for domain name, or they just liked the templates that were on it, that I could still adjust some things to get the look that they're looking for, but without the hassle that I had with trying to find it for myself, just learning it a little bit more in and out so that I have just that little bit extra skill for doing some creating for it. Other than that, that is my site. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at it, and I hope that you have a good day. Thanks.